Have you ever stared at an app you built, maybe something you poured hours into coding, and just thought, wow, this looks like it came straight out of a high school computer class?
I think we've all been there. It happens.
Yeah, you're definitely not alone. And, in today's digital world, design isn't just some extra flourish, nice to have.
Not at all. It's really the silent language of user experience. It's fundamental.
It absolutely is. It decides if users trust your product, if they stick around, if they actually, like using it. A poor UI isn't just annoying.
It's worse than annoying. It's a real financial liability. It leads to users leaving, lower customer lifetime value. It can even damage your brand's credibility.
It's a huge deal. And that's exactly why today we're diving into what feels like a truly revolutionary system.
Yeah, this is quite different.
It really is. This isn't about just like typing, make it beautiful into an AI and hoping for the best.
Right. Crossing your fingers isn't a strategy.
Exactly. Instead, we're going to explore is a predictable, really detailed roadmap. It promises to turn those basic app ideas into professional level designs consistently, every single time.
And I think what's really key here, and often missed, is how this flips the usual approach. Most people fail with AI designs because they give these super vague requests, right? Design a beautiful interface.
Yeah, what does beautiful even mean to an AI?
Precisely. AI can't read your mind. Beauty is subjective. So you end up with these generic, kind of soulless products that just blend in.
Okay, so what's the secret sauce then?
The key, based on what we're seeing, is moving away from that vagueness. You need to provide specific, actionable direction. You essentially become the creative director for your AI.
A creative director, I like that.
Yeah, and you do that by building what our sources call a visual DNA. It's like a concrete, repeatable set of guidelines. That's what makes the design process predictable and, honestly, much more effective.
A visual DNA. Okay, intriguing. So how do we actually build this? That's our mission for this deep dive, right?
Yeah.
To explore this, what is it, an 8-step roadmap?
That's right, 8 steps, taking you from that initial idea spark all the way to polished, developer-ready mockups, all powered by AI.
And it all kicks off with how you gather inspiration, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not just random browsing.
Exactly. Step 1 is what we're calling mining visual inspiration like a pro.
Okay.
Because the problem with just blindly prompting an AI is, well, like you said, you're just hoping for a miracle. It's guesswork.
Right.
This system argues for a much more systematic approach. You actively research professional designs to build a solid visual mood board. You're curating the look you want.
So not just leaving it to chance. Where do you find this kind of, high quality stuff beyond just a quick Google image search?
Good question. Our sources point to a few key places, and they each have a slightly different flavor. Mobbin, for example.
Mobbin. Oh,
It's fantastic because it actually compiles entire UI flows and screens from major B2C apps. So you see real-world examples from top companies.
so you see the whole journey, not just one screen.
Exactly. Then you've got Dribble. That's more about showcasing shots, often highly conceptual designs. Great if you're looking for cutting-edge aesthetics or maybe some cool micro-interactions.
Pushing the envelope a bit.
Yeah, pushing the envelope. And Behance, which is Adobe curated, tends to show more comprehensive design projects. You can see how a whole design system gets applied across lots of different screens.
Right, the consistency.
And finally, Allwords. That focuses more on creative web design, but it's brilliant for inspiration on layouts, animation, visual storytelling, things that can translate to apps too.
Interesting mix. And you mentioned a pro tip earlier, something about where to look that really caught my eye. It wasn't just about looking at competitors.
Yes, this is really important for avoiding clones. The tip is, don't just look within your apps category. If you're building, say, a finance app.
You just look at other finance apps.
Exactly. Look at travel apps, health apps, productivity tools, anything that visually appeals to you. Why? Because that's how you create something unique, not just another boring imitation.
That makes so much sense. Cross-pollination, right?
Totally. But then the question becomes, okay, you found designs you like. How do you actually break them down? You can't just glance at them.
You need to analyze them properly.
Right. And the sources provide a handy visual analysis checklist for this. You're not just looking, you're analyzing.
Okay, so what's on the checklist? What are we looking for?
First up, the color palette. You're looking at, what's the dominant color? How are accent colors used to grab attention? What's the sort of psychological vibe? Does it feel trustworthy, exciting, calm?
The emotional layer of color.
Definitely. Second is the typography system. Is it readable? What personality does the font have? Modern, traditional, playful. And crucially, how do they use size, weight, spacing to create hierarchy?
So how headlines stand out from body text, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It guides the user's eye, makes things easy to scan.
Makes sense. And the third element,
Layout and spacing. This is often the unsung hero. Does the app feel cluttered or airy? What's the information density like? And how is white space used?
the power of empty space.
It's huge. It creates balance, guides the eye, gives that subconscious sense of order, consistent grids, alignment. It all matters.
Okay, so analyze color, typography, layout, then what?
Then the actionable step is simple. Download 4 or 5 key screens, the ones that really capture the style you're aiming for. These become your raw materials.
Your visual blueprints.
Yeah.
Got it. So we've got our inspiration, we've analyzed it, we've got these key screens. How do we turn that into something that AI can actually use? That seems like the tricky part.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. Step 2, creating your style guide with AI.
Okay.
This is where the magic kind of happens. You use the AI not just to make pictures, but as an analytical tool. It examines those screens you downloaded.
The ones we just picked?
Right. And it translates them into a comprehensive style guide. This style guide becomes the foundation of your visual DNA.
Ah, okay. So the AI extracts the rules.
Exactly. And the prompt structure here is really important. You instruct the AI to think like a principal product designer.
Think like a designer. How?
You ask it first to do a deep philosophical and strategic analysis of the images. Consider the app's purpose, who the target audience might be, the why behind the design choices.
Wow. Okay, so you're making the AI do some design thinking up front.
You are. It's not just a dumb tool.
Yeah.
Then, after that high-level thinking, it generates the actual design system. And it does this using something called design tokens.
Design tokens. I've heard that term. What's the advantage there for, say, a developer listening?
Great question. Design tokens are basically named values for design properties like primary blue 500 for a specific hex code or font size large for a pixel value.
Okay.
The huge benefit is they make handoff to developers super smooth. Everything's defined, it ensures consistency everywhere, and makes updates way easier down the line.
Sounds incredibly efficient. What kind of tokens does the AI generate?
It's pretty comprehensive. You get a full color system, primary colors with different shades, secondary or accent colors for buttons and things, functional colors, green for success, red for error, with specific hex codes, plus a full grayscale palette.
Wow.
Then, a typography system. It suggests a Google font family and gives you a responsive typographic scale font size, weight, line height for roles like display, H1, H2, body large, caption.
So rules for all the text.
All the text. Then a spacing and sizing system, usually based on a 4 or 8 pixel grid. Little details like space 1 equals 4px, space 2 equals 8px. That gives you that pixel-perfect consistency.
That sounds incredibly detailed.
It is, and it doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
You also get component styling principles like border radius values, roundedism, rounded edges, and shadow effects. Shadowism, shadow LG.
Okay, so how buttons and cards should look.
Exactly. And finally, it usually gives an overall design philosopher just a short summary of the UX approach the system represents.
That's way more than just picking colors. It's a whole system.
It's a complete system. Your visual DNA, ready to go.
But you mentioned earlier, design isn't just looking good. It's emotional connection. How does psychology fit into this AI-generated system?
Ah, yes. That brings us to step 3, infusing psychology into your design DNA. This is the bit people often skip, but it's what makes a design truly effective, not just pretty.
The advanced step.
You could call it that. It's about turning those design rules into an intentional conversation with the user, making conscious choices based on how humans react to the visual cues.
Okay, give me some examples. Color psychology.
Yeah, classic example. Blue often conveys trust, security, professionalism, think banks, tech companies.
Right.
Green suggests nature, growth, health, peace. Good for wellness apps, environmental causes, maybe even finance in some contexts.
Okay.
Red screams urgency, passion, importance. Use it carefully, error messages, delete buttons, maybe urgent calls to action.
Use red sparingly.
Usually, yeah, yellow or orange. More about optimism, energy, attention. Great for calls to action you really want people to notice. And dark tones often feel luxurious, sophisticated, focused, think entertainment apps or creative tools.
So you layer this thinking onto the style guide the AI gave you.
Exactly. You refine the AI suggestions based on the feeling you want to evoke for your specific app. And it's not just color. Typography has psychology too.
How so? Like Serif versus sans serif.
Precisely. Serif fonts, like Times New Roman, feel traditional, authoritative, trustworthy. Think newspapers, universities.
Okay.
Sans serifs, like Arial or Roboto, feel modern, clean, approachable. That's why they dominate digital apps and startups.
Makes sense.
Even script fonts, the handwritten ones, suggest elegance or a personal touch. And font weight matters too. Bold grabs attention. Light feels delicate or high-end.
So the benefit here is really about being intentional.
Totally intentional. You're consciously tailoring every element guided by the AI's structure, but refined by your understanding of psychology to evoke specific emotions and encourage certain user behaviors. You're guiding their experience.
That's powerful stuff. Okay, so we have the style guide infused with psychology.
Right.
But before we start designing screens, there's a foundational step, right? Step 4.
Absolutely necessary. Step
Sure.
4, defining your product concept, MVP. You have to be crystal clear about what your app actually is and does. It's your North Star for everything that follows.
Right, you can't design effectively without knowing the goal.
Exactly. The MVP prompt structure helps here. It's pretty straightforward. You state your core idea, your unique value proposition.
What makes it special?
Yep. Then define the basic minimum viable product, the core functionality, the main user flow, just the essentials for version 1.
Okay.
Then you add product details. Who's the primary audience? Demographics, needs, pain points. What key problem does it solve? What's its unique selling point, the USP? And finally, list maybe 3 to 5 core features for that first release.
Keep it focused.
Keep it focused. The sources use an example, Urban Garden Connect.
Yeah, the gardening app.
Right, a social mobile app for urban gardeners. Community, knowledge sharing, exchanging resources.
So what's this MVP definition look like?
Core idea, connect local urban gardeners. MVP, sign up, profile, post updates, join groups, find nearby gardeners. Audience, young city dwellers into sustainability. Problem, isolation of urban gardening. USP, hyperlocal focus, resource sharing. Core features, profiles, posts, groups, map search.
See, that's super clear. Concise, actionable, you know exactly what you're building.
And you need that clarity before you hit step 5, fusing your idea and design.
Okay, this is where it all comes together.
This is where you connect all the dots. You take that AI-generated style guide plus your psychological insights, and you blend them specifically with your app concept like Urban Garden Connect.
Making it bespoke.
Exactly. And you use the fusion prompt for this. You basically tell the AI to act as a creative director again.
Right, back to that role.
Yeah. You ask it to reflect. How should we adapt this design system for this specific app? You explain why a certain green works for Urban Garden Connect, or which sans serif font best suits its community vibe.
So you're providing the reasoning, the why.
You are. The AI then outputs an updated design system tweaked based on your app's specific needs and goals.
So the end result isn't generic anymore.
Not at all. It's a design system tailored specifically for your app. Every color, every font choice reinforces the product's core purpose and speaks to your target user. It's intentional design, not just decoration.
Love it. Okay, now the really fun part, right? Step 6, generating detailed mockups. Actually seeing the designs.
This is where the visuals really come to life. It's sometimes called vibe design because you're focusing purely on the design, the look and feel, not the functional code yet.
Okay, how do we guide the AI here?
Yeah.
We want beautiful mockups.
Specificity is key again. You use a detailed design prompt template.
Yeah.
You tell the AI the goal, create beautiful, detailed, high-fidelity UI mockups.
High fidelity. Got it.
You give it clear guidelines, use a specific icon set like Lucide, style components using Tailwind CSS utility classes. This helps later if you build it, simulate an iPhone frame maybe, and really stress. Focus is on visual design.
Inputs.
You feed it your complete fused design system, the one you just tailored, and your MVP description, so it knows the rules and the context.
And the task, not just design screens, I imagine.
No, much more specific. You ask it to brainstorm and propose, say, three different unique design solutions for each key screen.
3 options, nice.
Yeah, gives you choices. And importantly, ensure they follow basic UX UI principles. You even tell it to design individual components first.
Like building blocks.
Exactly. For Urban Garden Connect, maybe design a postcard component. Photo, avatar, name, text, like, comment buttons. And design a bottom navigation bar. Icons for feed, discover, add post, profile.
Design the bits first.
Then, once the components look good, tell the AI to assemble them into complete screens, like an onboarding screen, the main community feed, a user profile screen.
That makes sense. Build the Lego bricks, then build the castle.
It's a much more controlled way to get specific, high-quality, and varied visual outputs rather than generic templates.
Okay, mockups generated, they look amazing, but are they usable by everyone? That brings us to step 7, right? Accessibility.
Crucial step. Ensuring accessibility, or A11Y as it's often shortened. This isn't optional. A beautiful design is useless if people literally can't use it.
Absolutely. It's ethical, it expands your market.
And often it's a legal requirement.
Yeah.
WCAG compliance is a big deal.
So how do we check our AI-generated beauties for accessibility?
You use another prompt, an accessibility optimization prompt. Run this after you have the mockups. You tell the AI, act as a digital accessibility specialist.
Giving a specific expert role.
Yep, and its key tasks are,
Yep.
First, check color contrast. Verify every text background color pair hits at least the WCAG AA standard, which is 4.5.1 contrast ratio.
The industry standard.
Right, and if something fails, the AI should suggest alternatives that do pass. Second, suggest ARAA labels. For any interactive bits that aren't plain text, like icon-only buttons, provide descriptive area label attributes, like area label settings for a gear icon, essential for screen readers.
Okay, labels for non-text things.
And third, image alt text. For images in the mockups user avatars, photos and posts provide examples of good, descriptive alt text, not just alt image, but something like alt. A vibrant cherry tomato plant brimming with ripe red fruit on a sunny balcony.
Descriptive, so people using screen readers know what's there.
Exactly. The output from this prompt is basically an accessibility audit report for your mockups. You're building inclusivity in from the start.
That's fantastic. Proactive accessibility. Okay, final step. Step 8. We have beautiful, accessible mockups. Now what?
Now we validate. Step 8. From static mockups to user feedback. Because even amazing-looking accessible mockups are still just your assumptions about what users want and need.
Right, got to test them with real people.
You got it. First, you turn those static mockups into a clickable prototype. Import them into a design tool, Figma, Adobe XD, PenPot, whatever you use. Okay. Then you link the screens together using hotspots. Clicking the profile button on the nav bar actually goes to the profile screen mockup. You create a simple, testable user flow.
Like the main journey through the app.
Exactly. Maybe opening the app, scrolling the feed, clicking a profile, liking a post, something users can actually try.
And then AI helps again.
You bet. AI, as your UX research assistant this time, you prompt it, act as a user experience UX researcher.
Okay, another expert hat for the AI. What does the UX researcher AI do?
Two main things. First, create a user interview script. A short, simple script to guide a usability test session with potential user. Greeting, opening questions, specific tasks for them to try in the prototype, like try to find a post about growing basil for our urban garden app, and some wrap-up questions.
Makes running tests easier.
Much easier. Second, create a survey questionnaire. Maybe a quick 5-question survey using a Likert scale, 1 for strongly disagree, 5 for strongly agree,
Right.
to gauge how users feel about the design. Is it clear? Does it seem trustworthy? Is it aesthetically appealing?
Getting quantitative feedback too.
Exactly. So you're moving beyond just your own opinion. You're going from, I think this looks good, to, okay, the data suggests users find this clear and engaging. It takes the guesswork out and grounds your design in reality.
That is a huge leap from pure guesswork to data-informed design powered by AI assistants all the way. So wrapping this all up, what's the really big takeaway here?
I think the core insight, the thing we kept circling back to, is this. Stop treating language models like mystical creative geniuses you just vaguely ask for brilliance.
Right, no more make it beautiful.
Exactly. Instead, you step up. You become the creative director for your AI. You provide the professional inspiration. You define the clear strategy, the visual DNA, and you set meaningful constraints like psychology and accessibility.
You're the conductor. The AI is the orchestra.
That's a great analogy. When you orchestrate it like that, you're not just hoping for good design, you're systematically engineering it. And that's how you get professional level results, predictably, every time.
And this doesn't mean human designers are out of a job, right?
Absolutely not. If anything, their role becomes even more crucial, but it evolves. They provide that critical inspiration, the strategic thinking, the nuanced creative direction that the AI needs to execute effectively.
They set the vision.
They set the vision. This system really just empowers developers, entrepreneurs, maybe people without a traditional design background, to execute that kind of vision effectively themselves. It democratizes access to high-quality design.
Makes it achievable for more people.
Yeah.
So the final thought for everyone listening. With this kind of powerful, predictable process for AI-powered design, this roadmap we've walked through,
Yeah.
what incredible product ideas, maybe ones you shelved because design felt too daunting, are you now inspired to bring to life?